Hello, this is Dr. Linda Davis, and today I want to pick up on the part 2 of our using Microsoft Expression Web 2. And I did a previous video on the first web page on our Buy Star Wars project, and today I want to do the second page, which is called the Episode 1 page. And so we'll launch Expression Web. And I already have my folder of images available from the one I worked on in the previous video. And I'll first save this page, which comes up as Untitled, and I'm going to save it in the folder of images that I worked on in the last video. So all those web pages store or are saved in that same folder. And last time I did this, I did my Expression Web tutorial folder, which I had my Star Wars web graphics in there. So I'm going to open that folder and save this web page in there as well. You can see the first web page I did in the last video. Now the file name. This one's going to be called Episode 1.html. And so we'll hit save, and then we'll go to Format Background. And on this particular one, a little bit different format with this one. We have mostly a white background, and I'm going to actually select white, and the text is going to be black this time. Hyperlinks are the same choices as last time. We used maroon and navy and maroon and left the hovered one as a bright red. I will also go to the General tab, and under Title I will instead say Episode 1. And say OK. And I'll start with my table. This is a 10 row by 7 column table. So go up to the menu item called Table, and we'll go to Insert Table, and we said 10 rows, 7 columns. The alignment for the table on the web page should be centered, and float stays at default, but specify width. We are going to change the value to be 760, and that's going to be pixels. This is based on an 800 by 600 screen resolution. Why not 800? Because you have to allow for the scroll bar on the right, which is 20 or 30 pixels wide, and plus just the margin or the border that goes all the way around the screen itself or the web page itself. So that gets us down from 800 to 760. Now, cell padding, cell spacing, borders, change all those for this particular project back to 0. And background color, we said it was going to be white. I like to actually plug in white to where I can see the color hex code in there, and say OK. And next thing I want to do is format these columns for specific column widths. So I will highlight column 1, and that one's going to go to be 240 pixels wide. So I've got to go down to Cell Properties, check mark Specify Width, and make that one 240 in pixels. Apply OK. Column 2, highlight that, right click again, Cell Properties. This one's 140, so specify width for 140 pixels. Apply OK. Column 3 is just 20, so to go down to Cell Properties, specify width 20 pixels. Apply OK. Column 4, go down to Cell Properties, specify width. That one's 140 in pixels. Apply OK. Column 5 is 20. Cell Properties. Okay, make it 20 in pixels. Apply OK. And 6 is 140. For the width, apply OK. And the last column is just 60 pixels, so we'll highlight all of column 7, Cell Properties, specify width 60 in pixels. Apply OK. A few row heights also, and by the way, that adds up to 760. But row heights, row 3, we want to adjust. So I'm going to highlight all of row 3 to make it stay at 60 pixels. So I'm going to go to Cell Properties, but this time I'm going to check mark Specify Height and make that 60. in pixels, apply, okay. In row 6, 4, 5, 6, that is just going to be a row height of 20. In pixels, apply, okay. And row 9, again that's 20. In pixels, apply, okay. And row 10, again just 20, a width of 20 pixels. I'm sorry, a height of 20 pixels, apply, okay. And a bit of cell merging going on here. We can highlight row 1. Instead of having all those cells, we want to merge into one big cell. So I'm going to right click, go down to modify, starts with M, which merge starts with M to help you remember that. So we're going to merge that into one big cell. Same with row 2. Highlight row 2, right click, modify, merge. And also the rest of the cells in column 1. One big graphic's going to go in there, so I'm going to right click, modify, and merge that. And a little bit of background change here. Most of the web page is white background, but the first 2 rows, and let me highlight just the first 2 rows, will be a black background. So I'm going to right click, go down to cell properties, and just make those 2 rows have a background color of black. And I'll apply that, okay. Also, we want to go back to row 1 and start building some text in there. That's going to be centered. The color is bright red, bold. The font is going to be 36 point, which is extra large in web terms, and the font is going to be Book Antigua. And we're just going to have by Star Wars in there, .com. In row 2, again that's centered, but this time we're having lots of graphics go in there. These graphics represent the different versions, the different episodes, so including a home button, that's a graphic as well. So the easy way is just to insert picture from file, and I want to just make absolutely sure I'm in the right folder before I start all that. It's always a good idea too. Saves you lots of work later on. Make sure you're in the right Star Wars Web Graphics 2 folder. I have several. Now, I want to take all these at once. I'm going to hold Control down on my keyboard and go Home, Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and take them all at once and insert them on this row. Now, they're going to come in whatever order they please. It doesn't seem to matter how you select them. They're going to choose their own order. That doesn't mean, though, you can't move them around and place them where you need to place them. So what I want to do is take Home and just pull it over, hold my mouse button down to the be first, and then of course 1, Roman numeral 1, and 2, and 3, and just pull them into the right place. There's 4, there's 5, and there's 6. Okay, so those are in. Eventually some of these will become hyperlinks to other pages. Now, we also have the big graphic going in here, and I may have to format this to hug the top left margin so that the graphic will fit nicely in there. Let me insert this graphic. It is called Episode 1 COL for my students. Episode 1 COL is that particular one. Insert that. Fits nicely. It's already been sized for this beginning tutorial. Cell properties, though, I will go in there and say, okay, I want it to hug the left margin. I want the vertical alignments to hug the top. Apply OK. And that way it doesn't get separated from this. This graphic has a little bit of black at the very top of the graphic that blends nicely in with the background color on row 2. And so if you see white show up in between those two, it's because the white background is starting to peek through, and you don't want that gap. And so by tightening it up now, it should be okay. Alright, so we have some active white space here, which means no text, no images should go in this area. And then we go down to the next one, and we have 3 toy packages going in here with appropriate white spacing. So I'm going to insert picture from file, and this one's called Anakin Skywalker button. It's a toy package, and I'm going to format that for under cell properties for to be centered and hug the top, and I will do that to all of these toy packages. Excuse me. Now moving through. Next one is Darth Maul button. We have some white space here, then we jump right into it. Insert picture from file. Darth Maul button, and put that one in. Again, format it under cell properties to hug or to be in the center of the cell and to hug the top. Apply OK. And the last toy package on this side is Darth Sidious button. So let's go find that one. Hug the again, cell properties to hug to center it and to hug the top of the cell. And starting to shape up. Okay, the next row down below has their actual names in text. So these are centered. The color is black and it's bold. The font is a 14 point and Times New Roman. And this first one is going to be Anakin. And do a Shift Enter to keep that nice and tight. I think I have a little bit of a cap problem there. Let me fix that. Okay. Moving through, this one's Darth Maul. Centered, bold, 14, Times New Roman. And this package is Darth Sidious, again, centered, bold, 14, Times New Roman. Now we have an empty row here of active white space built in, and then we have another set of toy packages going in pretty much the same way. And we'll insert those and format those cells as well. And this one's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi button. Again, we need to go to cell properties and say center it, hug the top, apply OK. And skip a little cell there for white space, and then we have the Queen Amidala toy package. Queen Amidala button is what the image is called. Again, cell properties, center and top. And over here we have Qui-Gon Jinn package, so insert picture from file. QUI Qui-Gon Jinn button. Alright, again, go to cell properties and tell it to center and hug the top of the cell. Apply OK. We have their names underneath, of course, just like before. And we will center that, bold that. It's in black and it's 14 Times New Roman. And again, Shift Enter to keep that tight. Again, center, bold, 14 Times New Roman. And the last toy package, again, center, bold, 14 Times New Roman. Alright, so we have those in, and for my students I like them to put their names underneath the table. outside the table, so you can do a little created by. So I'm going to put their names there. Stop and save, do your Control S. Let me go ahead, and I didn't open up my Buy Star Wars page that I completed last time on the last video, so let me bring that page up. And by having both pages here easy to get to in the Expression Web view, we can also show you how to build a hyperlink in here. Even though we don't have all the pages up, we can build the hyperlinks that exist between these two pages. So I can go to the Buy Star Wars page that we did in the last video, and I can, since I now have my completed episode 1 web page, I can use my episode 1 thumbnail that's on the Buy Star Wars page to hyperlink to the episode 1 page now. So I will right click on the episode 1 thumbnail. When I right click, go down all the way to hyperlink, and just make sure you're in, that same folder. Let me just double check. Expression Web Tutorial, yeah, that's the right one. And I want to say, hey, I want to link this Buy Star Wars page to the episode 1 page, and make sure you're in a page and not some little graphic. So, okay, and so that links that page. A couple of more things we can do on here for hyperlinks is the Send Email button. We can click on that, and it is a form of hyperlink, and it causes the Outlook page to automatically come up for the website visitor, and puts to who it should receive this email, and that's within the company. So let me show you this one. Send email. Right click. We'll do a hyperlink to start with. Now, instead of doing existing file or web page like we did last time, we're going to go down to email address and click on that. And whoever it's to, we'll say John at, and just as soon as you start typing John, J-O-N, mail to : automatically pops up. So it's John at BuyStarWars.com. That way your audience does not have to guess who to mail, who should get the email at the company. Subject, you can just put website visitor. That way when John's sorting his mail, he will know that it's a client or potential customer that's emailing in. And after that, just say OK. And a third type of hyperlink on this page is the Star Wars homepage button. We can take that homepage button and actually link it to an external website, which is the real StarWars.com website. So we can right click there, go down to hyperlink, and get off of the email and go back up to existing file or web page. Now we don't have any to pick from here because it allows us to go down to the address part and just simply type in www.starwars.com and say OK. So let's try some of these hyperlinks out, because we're just in design view obviously right now, and we want to save what we've done, go to the browser view, so we can either click on our little preview button up here, or we can just hit F12 on your special function keys to launch the browser view of what we've done, and try some of these hyperlinks out and see how they work. I can go to episode 1 thumbnail, and notice the hand comes up. When I click on that, it takes me to was supposed to take me to my episode 1 page, but it didn't. I'll have to explore why that didn't happen. Let me go back, and let me try out my send email button, see if that's working better. It launches Outlook 2010. Notice it brings up a new page, a new email page to John at BuyStarWars.com. Subject is website visitor. So that's taken care of. All right. And do you want to save changes? No. And then our external link, let's try that out. And let me just click on that Star Wars homepage and let it load the external website. Which is coming up. And I'll just show that and then exit out of that. Okay. Now I still had a problem with this page not showing up. And let me just observe what I've done there. And maybe I was in the wrong folder, linked it to the wrong one. Let me try it again. I can right click to edit that and just go to hyperlink properties again. And it's trying to go to another folder, so that my guess is maybe I linked it to the wrong one. So I'm in this folder, Expression Web Tutorial. Maybe I didn't go deep enough in here. There's my episode 1 page. Let me try that one and see if that one works better. Let's save it, because you always got to save before you go to the browser view. So I'm going to hit F12. And let me just, I thought I saved it, but maybe not. Okay. And let me try this hyperlink again. Episode 1, let me click. Ah, there we go. Must have had it linked to the wrong episode 1 page, since I have more than one in different folders. Okay, so there's our episode 1 page hyperlinked. Okay, and not done yet, obviously, because we can go, let me save that one. And let me go back to the episode 1 page, because there's some hyperlinks we can do there, at least one, for now. And that is to go to the home graphic on the episode 1 page, right click, select hyperlink, and we want to go to the back to the home page. So that's the Buy Star Wars page. So we'll click on that one and say OK and save it. Try it out again. Make sure you have to have both pages saved before you try the browser view. So F12, and we're on the episode 1 page, and I can go to the home graphic that I have made into a hyperlink and click on that, and it takes me back to my home page. And let me just double check my episode 1 page here, and it takes me back there. So back and forth, back and forth. Okay, and I will also in the next video create the episode 4 page and the Queen Amidala page, so that we can have some links from the toy packages themselves to their own page for that character, as well as the episode 4 page will link to that Roman numeral there. Okay, thank you for your time.